So for me, as a criminology student, it is very important to study institutional correction. Because in the past, I just know that, oh, it's for suffering, it's for punishment, it's for those people who is convicted and judged by the court. But no, I learned that in studying institutional correction, it does not always about punishment or suffering, but it is about for reformation, for rehabilitation, and treatment of a person who make or who made mistakes in our society. There's no judgment at all. It is for those people who needs treatment. It is those people who needs change in their lives. Because you know what? The perspective of people about it is just a punishment. But my perspective as a criminology student and as a person who study it is that people needs a change that institutional correction offers when they got in. And also, their rights as a person is not neglected because they have the opportunity to get jobs as a program of institutional correction, and they can be also a productive, responsible, and disciplined people when they are inside and upon their release. So, institutional correction, be mindful. It is not for punishment but reformation. It is not for conviction but for treatment. And it is not for those people who became a suspect or prisoned, but for those people who made mistakes that needs us people also to understand them. Institutional correction offers many things, many programs, seminars. So therefore, I want you to study also institutional correction so that you will understand also those people who needs understanding about the things that they did. Thank you.
As for me, it is very important that we study the correctional administration. This is to better understand the people in a correctional facility. We can also say that by doing so, we might provide chances for those inmates that is currently studying for them to be more productive when they got released. This is also a better program for the people who runs the correction to better control and rehabilitate the people in its community. With this program, we might also encourage people to give a fair chances for those individuals that serves and behave in corrections.
Importance of studying institutional correction. Nowadays, it is important to study what is institutional correction is. But first, let us define what institutional correction is. On my perception, institutional correction is part of criminal justice system that is responsible for supervising and rehabilitating of criminals who have been convicted. It is a place where the criminals serve their time to repent and pay for all their wrongdoings. This is an establishment under the control of Bureau of Correction and is include of New Bilibid Prison, Manila City Jail, and more. As a student, it is important for me to study institutional correction as it will help me to have knowledge and insight about it. As a criminology student, this will be a step as an eye-opener for me to know what is institutional correction. What are those and how it helps people? By studying institutional correction, I can be as of help for those who are lost and who don't know what institutional correction is. I can explain it to them and even cite an example of institutional correction. Moreover, I can explain to them the benefit and the things that institutional correction do on the lives of every inmate. As a criminology student, it is important for us to have knowledge and insight about institutional correction. It is not just because we are a student of criminology, but it is because it is part of the career that we are taking.
Institutional correction is the rehabilitation or correctional program take place inside correctional facilities or institutional such as jail. I believe we as criminology students need to know this institutional correction in order for us to be aware enough on the criminal justice system concerning about custody, supervision, and rehabilitation of the offenders or criminals. Also, we have to know it for us to educate ourselves why offenders put in jail or prison for rehabilitation. Also, to know what are the rules and process are needed before the offender to be imprisoned. Another one, to know what are the practice, then to secure, manage, and control the jail in prison. Then, for us to be aware of what punishment are given to the offenders on how many years and they're in jail or prison. We have to know those different types and kinds of punishments. I also believe every details in this institutional correction is important to build a great police officer in the near future. And that's all